I spoke earlier with Professor Amit Ronen from George Washington University. He is director of the Solar Institute there.
China can legitimately say they are the top solar nation in the entire world right now. Just the first half of this year, they've installed almost 25 gigawatts of new solar energy. I mean, that's more than all of Europe combined. And if trends continue, they're going to install 45 gigawatts by the end of the year. That's more than all of Germany. And Germany has always been considered one of the top 5 biggest solar nations. And if you think about it, also there was a goal set last year by the Chinese government to meet 105 gigawatts of solar by 2020. With this summer investment, we've already surpassed that goal. So that's 3 years early on a goal that was just set last year.
And China is home to the largest solar farm and the largest floating solar farm in the world. But that only accounts for about 1% of its energy demand. So how soon before we see those numbers turn in the other direction?
Yeah, I mean, China's certainly well known for their prowess in very large infrastructure projects, and this is an example of that. But the remarkable thing about solar, it doesn't just have to be big, and it's not necessarily always the best option. So that same solar panel that went into the big farm, maybe hundreds of thousands, a million of them, that exact same product can be used on somebody's rooftop, on a factory's rooftop, and then the power is used right there on site, which can be a better option economically for the region. One of the issues in China actually is that there's so much solar being built, some of it is far away from where the demand centers are, and about 11% of the solar generated in China is being lost because of lack of transmission right now. Sometimes there's too much solar and it drives down prices, and it's not economical. That's something, as we grow so quickly, is one of the challenges that needs to be figured out.
Speaking of economics, 60% of the world's solar panels are made in China and in Taiwan. What does this mean for the business of renewable energy, and how does this play a part in the global economy?
Well, China certainly recognized that early on in this world, means only a decade ago, that clean energy, and solar in particular, had a very important and perhaps opportunity for China to capitalize on. And so the government, through the series of policies, through investments, some people estimate about $50 billion of investment in manufacturing capacity, helping private industry in China ramp up their capacity. And that has led, frankly, to what I sometimes tell my students was a gift to the world, because that is really what's driven down the price of panels and have made solar economic all over the world. And that's so important that we have now options instead of fossil fuels, because, of course, for environmental reasons, for greenhouse gases. So China's played a very big role in that. And it's created hundreds of thousands of jobs in China. A lot of that stuff can be used both in the